What's up, y'all? Yes, it is I, Joseph R. Wheeler III, artist, founder, and president of the Onyx Con Foundation for another episode of Onyx Con Outdoors Worldwide. And I am in the woods. It has been a long time, too long for my standards, to get a good hike and to go fishing. My favorite combo for outdoor activity. And I'm at one of my favorite parks that connects to the great Chattahoochee River, which is the main water vein of the state of Georgia, amongst a few others, but that's the main one in my region, put it like that. The Atlanta metro area is fed by the Chattahoochee. Every bit of water that people acquire from their sink is because of the Chattahoochee. Yes, indeed. The power of the Chattahoochee, y'all. If you're in Metro ATL, you know what I'm talking about, or you should know. It's real facts. So it's fall. It is October. I guess you could still say mid-month, heading into the week of the last weeks of the month. And we're starting to get the trees changing a little bit. I'm trying to give y'all some of that. I know it's not as noticeable because they haven't all fully changed yet. You got some that are still green. If I had to guess, some of the trees I can recognize, like some of the birch, have not changed yet. Some of the oaks are starting to change. The sweet gums are always some of the first to change, so most of their leaves are already on the ground. And the river is high, which is awesome, because typically when I come out here, it will be low most of the year, because there are multiple dams on the Chattahoochee, and they pull the water. So I'm gonna show y'all what I'm talking about real quick. Yeah, y'all. When you see it almost touching the trees on the other side, that's when the water is kind of high. I would say anywhere from 8 to 10 feet on average, and in some places even deeper than that where it drops. It's really good. For the river, that's really good. It doesn't get super deep in most places. Now, there are some areas where it's really deep, but the majority of it is kind of flat and wide and stays at about, 3 to 6 feet most of the year in my experience. Give y'all some of this beauty as I walk to my spot. Some of this hike vibe. All right, y'all. Once again, it's on. Once again, it is on. And it's a little bit muddy like I knew it would be, because we did get some rain the other day, which is what I try to avoid when I do this, because you don't want to slip and bust your behind. Out here on this wet, somewhat wet clay. See, this is always the test right here. It's packing thick is what I like to call it. It's like you can pack it down with your feet. You can step real hard and not slip. It's doable. Got the fall blooms going. These pretty little purple things that come out every year. I really don't know the name of them, but I know they're native. And I like them. Little fuzzy looking flowers. And the water is somewhat clear, which is always awesome when you can see through right here at the edge. It's also something I'm more and more wishful of these days, because I've heard reports recently that the Chattahoochee is starting to get more gators coming north. In other words, they're not just in South Georgia anymore, and of course Florida, but South Georgia, where we know they have them. And then there's, a few regions that were always common when I was a kid. But now, as far as the county where, what do they call it, Muskogee County, named after the native group. Shout out to the tribal group. But the Muskogee County, which includes, I believe, Columbus area, they've been getting a lot of reports. What are these little gnats so bad? What the heck? Get out my face. But yeah, they've been getting a lot of reports of those in that area. And there was a huge one killed by some gator hunters years ago, about 2-3 years ago. 12-foot gator in Columbus. Yeah, Columbus. If you know the area, how close that is to Atlanta, that's like literally maybe 2 hours away. You know what I'm saying? Maybe more like an hour and a half, depending on what part of Atlanta you're leaving. But so when I can see through the water, that's a good thing. And I got on my polarized shades today too. I like to see what's coming to shore if I catch something. You know what I'm saying? And what might be behind it. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. Let's get to it, y'all. Somebody's eating out here, y'all. When I put this piece of hot dog on, it had a sharp, blunt end, and it was much longer, at least twice as long as this. We're gonna see if we can't get this catfish, is what I'm hoping it is. Could just be some turtles down there nibbling, taking their time and getting it all. We're gonna see about it. Just saw 2 small bass go by right up near the shore. And I'm remembering this was the same time of year it was last year that I saw some bass in the river. Surprised me actually, because even though I know they're native, I just don't often see them. And they definitely were largemouth with the stripe on the side and everything. But it's hard to stay alive in this water, I can imagine. They got a lot of competition. They are not the top predator. You got the catfish and the gar that rule out here. And in some parts, you might even have the hybrid bass that get a decent size. But I'm curious. So I went back to my crank now to see if I can drum up some action from them or anything else that might be getting active this time of day. Right at that golden time of day, the end of the day.